The Canadian Civil Liberties Association says it will take legal action soon against the province of New Brunswick over its changes to the policy governing gender identity issues in schools. Now, the CCLA Director of Equality, Harini Sivalingam, is with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here today.
We've been following the story closely here at Your Morning. And just to update everybody, the province amended Policy 713 to include a requirement that any student younger than 16 needs parental consent if they want to change their name or their pronoun for reasons related to gender identity. Then last week, the province further amended the policy to clarify the need for parental consent around name changes also extended to verbal communication between students and educators. But it does not extend to private conversations with support staff. That includes school psychologists or the use of nicknames. So Minister of Education Bill Hogan said that those changes should resolve any of these potential legal issues. Why does your organization disagree?
Well, the Minister of Education keeps revising and changing Policy 713 and making it more difficult, not better for trans and gender diverse students. The minister's clarifications do not address the serious concerns that were raised by legal experts, including the province's own child and youth advocate, as well as those who are directly affected by the policy. The policy still prevents trans and gender diverse students from using their correct names and pronouns in the classroom without parental permission. That has not changed. The CCL believes that this policy will have a discriminatory impact on trans and gender diverse students who are specifically targeted by the policy. So as you mentioned, a student who wants to use a nickname does not need to seek parental consent, but a trans student would be required to. And this clearly has a discriminatory effect that causes harm to trans and gender diverse students.
For good reason, a lot of the conversation around the changes to this policy have concerned the possible violation of student rights. But we've also talked in the show about how these changes could be infringing on the rights of educators. Can you delve into that a bit more?
Yeah, so not only does the policy violate students' rights, but it also impacts educators, such as teachers, school support staff, coaches, who have professional obligations towards ensuring that their students are supported in their learning environment. The policy prevents educators from being able to support students if they can't address students by their correct name and pronouns in the classrooms. So this has serious implications on teachers and support staff and educators in the classrooms.
What kind of legal action is the CCLA considering here?
So since the policy was first revised in June, we've been in touch with local organizations and individuals who have expressed concerns about the harms this policy will have with students in the classroom. And we're monitoring this issue closely, reviewing the Child and Youth Advocates report, and most recently the revised policy. And we will continue to work with local organizations to determine next steps to challenge this harmful policy. We do feel it's really important for those who are opposed to the revised policy to have their voices heard. These revisions are part of an alarming trend to erode the rights and protections of 2S LGBTQIA+ communities achieved through decades of advocacy. And so that's why it's important to stand up and defend the rights of trans and gender diverse students to prevent this kind of domino effect.
On the flip side, what kind of action could the province take to dissuade the CCLA from taking any kind of legal action?
So I believe that the right thing for the minister to do is just to rescind the policy changes. So when the policy was originally drafted in 2020, it was a result of an extensive consultation with experts and stakeholders. There was nothing wrong with the original policy 713 before the minister decided to change it. It was working to help guide educators in how best to support students in school. If the minister does want to make changes to important policies like 713, they should talk to students, talk to parents, talk to teachers, consult with experts, those who actually have experience in the classroom working with young people.
Harini, thanks for coming on this morning.
Thank you again for having us.
And as a note to this interview, we did reach out to Education Minister Bill Hogan and the Department of Education and Early Childhood Development for a comment on this story. We did not receive a reply in time for this interview.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.